This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. Today I'm very lucky, joined by Greg Marriot. So thank you very much for coming on, Greg.
No problem, but Fred, it's been a long time trying to get this done, but we're here now.
It's great to see you again. So I can't remember, it was a while back we did the other interview, and that was the build-up when Kell was going to take on Terence Crawford, and now Bill's taking on Canelo. But what's been going on with you since then?
Full-time with Billy Joe Saunders. I mean, we were in camp with Billy Joe Saunders for the Murray fight, while Kell were over, obviously, fighting Crawford, but couldn't get there with the restrictions, so couldn't be in two places at once. But no, Murray fight for me was just, I'm not saying it's a warm-up fight, never said that, never overlook any opponent, but we knew that obviously it was essentially the start of the camp of the Canelo camp. Obviously, God willing, he came to that fight, which he did, and he won. But it was the start of the Canelo camp, really, because obviously, Billy Joe needed to be in shape for his life, which he is. So it's been a long camp.
And you've been working as a nutritionist, not just with Billy Joe Saunders, Kell Brook, but with loads of people like Florian Marku, Dante Dixon, I think even Michelle Joy Phelps. How do you keep on track of it all?
Work ethic. I got to have a good work ethic. My dad always said to me, you better get up and get to work. And like, I never had a day off school. Went to work even if I were dying, the worst flu ever. It's kind of been installed into me to just do. If I'm doing something, it has to be 100%. And like with anything, all your champions, they're in it to win it. And that's the kind of same principles I use for nutrition. Because you're only as good as your reputation. So obviously, if I'm letting someone down, they're thinking, "But he's no good," then it's word of mouth that has a knock-on effect. So I think that I'm so successful because obviously I'm on the phone to people asking how they feel. It's about a relationship with that person, with that client, not just a rollout diet. Here you go, stick to that and phone me in 3 weeks. I have a quite close relationship with the clients, and that's what works. Anyone can know about nutrition, but it's about applying it. And I feel like that, to be honest with you, without blowing any smoke up myself, I think I am the best at doing that, knowing how to apply it to each and every individual fighter. You'll see me come across and I'm having a joke and a laugh, but it's all about what mentally stimulates that fighter and that client.
I mean, when I think of a nutritionist, I'm not being obviously I'm a bit biased. I know you, but you're spring to my mind. So say a cut man, I think of Stitch, I think of Jamie Sheldon, I think of Jimbo Johnson, I think of loads of people. For nutritionists, I just think about you.
Good man.
And I was at college. Oh yeah, I've got a question actually about nutritionists. I was having bacon for breakfast, and my mum was like, "Oh, if you have bacon, it shortens your life." Is that true?
It does what?
It shortens your life by a few days. Is that true? I don't think it is.
Do you drink alcohol, Fred?
No, I don't.
People drink alcohol. People. No, I mean, I don't know what study that is. I mean, if you eat it every day, or just if you eat it every day,
maybe once a month or something. Very rare.
If you think about it, Fred, I mean, back in the day when people used to ration, back in the day, war times, people got brought up on things like that. I remember, you won't remember this, but bread and dripping. You know what dripping is? No, so a dripping, it's all the fat from so if you do a chicken, or like cook a Sunday dinner with the potatoes and all the fat that goes into the bottom of the pan, and it's a thick thing like that. Or like on a chip pan, the fat, you scrape that off and you put it on bread and it's thick and it's black and it's bad for you. But, my nan and granddad and great-grandparents got brought up on that and they lived well into the 90s. It's still preference. Listen, we're supposed to look after ourselves. Drinking every night is not good for you. A glass of red wine every single night is supposed to promote a healthy heart and be an antioxidant. But too much of anything's bad for you, anything. If you just lived on carrots, you'd probably have a deficiency and probably die if that's all you eat. It's that kind of. But no, listen. There's many different foods. What too much is bad for you, but I don't think that. I'd pass that. If you want a bacon sandwich, go for it.
All right, that's good. I got a few years left.
But it has to have brown sauce on it.
All right. I was also at college today, and it was a very boring day at college. I had to go at 9 o'clock, and it was always till 5 o'clock. And my sister, I felt in an interview with Tom Saunders, which is Billy Joe Saunders' dad, for those who don't know, and they were saying the fight's off and they're going to go home if the ring isn't 22 feet. What do you know about that?
It's a big question at the minute. My experience, listen, I don't really get involved in the logistics and politics of boxing. You know, I don't. You know, I mean, I stay in my lane and do my job. I'll be honest with you. We went into the ring. Obviously, what they've got here, just obviously shadow box and do his pad work Monday, and I got in, and I just thought, well, this is small. And I asked the question. It was an 18-foot ring, and apparently that's what they were fighting in.
That's amateuring. 18 foot. This is an 18-foot ring. It's an amateuring.
You know as well as I do. You know that's not going to happen. You know, 18-foot. They're trying to spring it on Billy Joe to find an 18-foot ring. I think Canelo knows that he's going to have an hard night's work regardless, and he wants to obviously try and cover every aspect of that. So that's not going to happen. I think they've come back with a 20-foot ring, but no, we're sticking to his guns as a team and saying no, it needs to be 22, kind of thing. So it's back and forward. Obviously, we're here to win, Fred. We're not just, no disrespect, I'm not going to name any names, but no one had anything to bring to the table with Canelo recently. People, we're not just coming over here as a challenger, a mandatory challenger. We've worked his way here. Billy Joe's a two-time world champion. He's, whoever wins this is the king of, is he going to be the king of boxing? Canelo's supposed to be the king right now, but we're here to win. Billy Joe's not interested in the money. He's not interested in anything. He's not interested in fortune and fame. And I remember, and this is God's honest truth. Billy Joe said to me, and I think I said one of this in my last one of my other interviews. He said to me, if I could strike a deal with God now to win that fight and have one day with my family and die after, I'd do it. That's how much he wants to win. Now, I'm telling you now, boxers may say that and say, oh, and they won't mean it. Billy Joe actually means that. He would strike a deal, saying, oh, God, with the devil, anyone to do that, because he's a winning man. He comes from a winning mentality. The tribal and the gypsy community, the winners, the born fighters. You know what I mean, Fred? And it's that kind of, when someone says that to you, you're on that team, it's like, wow, he can't be beaten. He cannot be beaten in his mind. So he's not just going in there to pick a paycheck up. We're not just in here to just be like, well, yeah, we're a contender. That's why we're saying no. All right, fair enough. Then it's not. If that's not going to happen, then we're not interested, because we're here to win. We're not just here to say, yeah, easy night for Canelo. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
What percentage do you think is going to happen? Say 100% being it's going to happen on Saturday night.
100%.
So you think it's 100%? It's 100% going to happen?
Everything happens in boxing, I remember Floyd Mayweather and Madonna, gloves, and we're not fighting if you in these gloves. It always happens. At these magnitude of fights, it happens. And do you know why it happens? Because people are so professional. If people didn't know the job and, we'll just get in, we'll do this, we'll do that. But every single aspect has to be overlooked because, it's politics. And people do try and pull fast ones. And I've seen so many things in boxing, and it happens. There's so many tricks that goes on here. You've got to be on the ball. So this might be the first of many, but on this camp, but it was always going to happen. It's never going to be plain sailing for a fight of this magnitude. I mean, I don't know if you can see arena behind me.
Yeah, it's a great view.
It's unreal. But, I mean, for me, it's just another job, Fred. If I'm working for, let's say you'll get into boxing, it's your first amateur fight. The job's the same for me as it is on this job. It's not, I'm in a bigger fight, so it's just a job. But sometimes I remind myself, look where we are. It's, you sit back and you think, wow, that were a ride. But it's all part of the job. And we are here to do a job. And I think, to be honest with you, I really honestly think that when Billy Joe wins, and I'm saying when, I'm not just saying that because it's not good saying if. I honestly believe when Billy Joe wins, he's going to win that comfortably. It's not even going to be a shock. I'm not going to lay in my bed that night and think, wow, we did it. I'll think, I kind of knew that was going to happen. And I honestly believe that. Sorry,
are you going to bet money on it? Because he's a massive underdog.
I never bet money on any fighter. Never. Ever. Never. Just I don't think it's something teams do. It's just, and not because I don't have the faith. It's something that I don't think teams ever really do. Let's bet on this fighter to win. We are here to win. I know we're going to win. It's not about, like you're saying, it's not about the money. It's the job. you know. And I think if you get caught up in like, oh, this and that, but we don't. We're professional. We don't get caught up on the ums and ahs and, oh, we're here, look, we're in, you know, Dallas and Vegas. It's, for me, I'd rather be at home with my wife and children. I'm not. I'm just here. Could be anywhere, this. Do you know? It doesn't matter to me. And that's the thing. A lot of people get lost in the magnitude of this, like, ooh, you know, but I've been there, done it, and got a T-shirt. Golovkin and Kell, you know, Tyson when he made his first comeback, when I took 10 stone off Tyson with me and Ben Davison. So it's like, it's a walk in the park, you know. It's an easy job. It's an easy job for me. I'm not saying I'm overlooking the job. Like, yeah, it's fine. I'm very professional in what I do, but it's an easy job for me. So,
I mean, you mentioned Tyson Fury there. I think you're one of the unsung heroes. You kind of brought him back, as well as Ben Davison. And Tyson Fury there as well. I remember when he fought Vladimir Klitschko in Dusseldorf, they had all that palaver about the ring and all the like it was kind of mattress-like stuff under the ring. And I said, I bet you, I'm calling it now. This week you're gonna have that. You might have that problem. You're gonna have the ring, the gloves with the Mayweather and Dana situation. It's been build up for the fight, but the thing about Canelo is when he turns up in his kind of fancy pajamas and he's got the millions and millions of dollars raining down of him, and all the Mexican fans are singing and crying his name. It makes money. It makes loads of money, and that's why it's such a big star. And one of the problems, well, I hate to bring this up, because I know it's really cliche, but the judges must concern you a bit, right?
Well, I think the commission we're not allowed any English judge or Mexican judges. So obviously they're impartial, and that's how they are. That you know, they propose a panel of 3 judges, and both parties are allowed to say yes or no. So we've been given the option to, or Billy, you know, Billy and his representatives have been given the option, MTK, to say yes to him or no to him. And if we say no, then they have to give us someone else. So we can't say we want, but they put names forward, and we say either yes or no. So we can look at obviously who they've worked with before, what decisions they've given. So on that side of things, yes, you know, to be honest with you, it is a bit of a relief. But then again, you know, you've seen some crazy decisions, and that's why, you know, we're here to make a clean cut decision. You know, when Billy does the job, you know, if it's a close round, you can know which way it's probably going to go. So that's why, you know, we've got to be cleaner than clean. But it's boxing, and unfortunately, that's the way it is, Fred. You know, but yeah, I think we are going to. The ring not being tight enough, the canvas not being tight enough, you know, so when you try and move and pivot off, you know, you're getting stuck, things like that. You know, you've seen it all before, but that's down to the team, obviously, and his representatives again. But I'm sure nothing gets really overlooked, and that's why we're probably in this situation now, you know.
Yeah, I kind of see it's always a bit of pain in the arse sometimes. I don't stick too much. I know it's a massive fight. I don't stick too much onto it, but what have you been up to this? Well, if we move off religious Saunders for a while, what have you been up to this week? So I know you're a massive golfer and you like to play golf a lot. Like, chill out. Is there a golf course? Because down there I can see in the bottom of my window. Is there a golf course down there?
No, this is just a bit of greenery. It's really, really nice. I mean, they set the seat. It's all set up for the stadium. I mean, this is a live hotel, and this is Sports City. You know, you've got that's the Dallas Cowboys, the baseball. We went to baseball over there. Put that on Instagram. And this is where the sport's happening. So I think this hotel is just set up for a picturesque view of that, and it just, you know, it generates so much income. It's great. But to be honest, we've been around the pool, chilling, you know, feeding Billy. I mean, for me, it's the best part of camp, but it's the easiest. Billy knows he's not moaning, thinking, "Oh, what am I eating today?" And this, he just knows it's the protocol that we do, you know. So everything's, you know, mood is good, spirits are very high, and we've been for a walk this morning. And it's a very, very, very relaxed, even though all this is going on, we're just very relaxed because it's just part and parcel of boxing. You know, it is. But we're just in his room, you know, we all go down and sit in the lobby and then have a chat and, you know, take the mickey out of each other. You know, it's just fun. It's a fun time. You know, it'll get serious Friday. You know, it'll get serious Friday. That's when, you know, Billy Joe will switch on completely. You know, we've seen glimpses of the other day, Monday. You know, we see the magnitude of the fight, but you'll see the flick switch on Friday. And one other thing I do want to say, because I don't know if you'll ask me, what do I honestly think is going to happen in the fight? And I say Billy Joe, and I say it for this reason. Let me ask you a question, Fred. Who is the best, Ronaldo or Messi?
I say I don't follow football that much, but I say Ronaldo now.
Yeah? What do you mean now?
Well, you got in the spot here, Greg, because I barely watch football. You know what? I used to always watch it, but now I barely watch it. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, Ronaldo.
Right, okay. So Ronaldo's absolutely amazing. If I seen him, I'd probably bow down to him. He's that good. Ronaldo has worked and worked. His work ethic's insane. To do what he still does at that age is phenomenal. And yeah, he's one of the world's best players. Yeah, he is. On top of his game, he has to work at that every single day. He's got natural ability, yes. But Messi, they can be losing 2-0 and he can switch it on in 80th minute and win the game. And what I said to you is, because Messi's got a gift. He was born with that gift, a natural gift of football. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just comes natural to him. Ronaldo had something, yes, but had to work and work and work and work. Messi can just turn up. Messi just has to turn up, and he's amazing. But when amazing ability and gift turns up and has put the hard work in, it's unbeatable. So that's like Canelo. Yeah, listen, pound for pound king. Yeah, but he has to work. Look how much he works. He works and works and works, never out, and he's consistent. And consistency is key. But when consistency joins with gift, that's unbeatable. That's what Billy is. He's a fighting man. He was born out of the fighting man. He's got that will. He's got that determination. He can't lose. And he's got that natural boxing ability, that elusivity. You know what I mean? I don't think Canelo possesses. Canelo's very good in what he does. You know what I mean? But he's not as elusive as Billy Joe. He's not got the boxing. I don't think he's got the boxing brain that Billy Joe naturally has got. Do you understand? So when that turns up and has hard work, I think that's going to be the difference. I really think that's going to be the difference.
What do you have to say about, it's been brought up quite a few times, about the difference between Canelo's competition and Billy's competition? I mean, Canelo's been in I think his last fights with Jacobs, Kovalev, Yildirim, and then Smith, and then Billy's weren't.
Yeah.
It weren't. And I don't be disrespectful. They weren't as good as that competition.
No, they weren't. I mean, if you look at BoxRec, you'll see that in the last 4 years he's fought 3 times, Billy Joe. And people saying it's inactivity or he didn't look very good in Murray fight and this and that. But it's a level as well. It's like if you're sparring someone, you go down to their level. And it's kind of thinking like, if you run around with losers, you're going to become a loser. It's the same statement. I mean, if you hang around with criminals and drug dealers, you're going to get into bother. You are going to get into bother, even though you understand. That's what it is. Birds. What's the saying? Birds of a feather flock together, and it's true. So when you're sparring someone who's not really good, you come down to their level. That's what it is. And Billy rises to the occasion, just like he did Lemieux. You're going to see a twice as better performance than you are Lemieux. I promise you. We've seen Billy Joe, he's come alive. And I know everyone talks to fight her up, but listen, he's that good and he's on fire and he knows what's at stake. And that brings something out of him. What I only see that like in Tyson and Billy. He's got the same mentality, that same kind of something inside that Tyson has. It's strange. I don't know what it is. It's just strange. You can feel it's an energy. It's just not, it's freaky. It's not normal, and that's what he possesses. So when you see that, it's nice to see. But unless you're in camp, it's just like, oh yeah, he's not been no good. But he does. He'll rise to the occasion. But then again, Canelo's had opponents where I'm not saying they pick for him, but
they're stylistically picked for him. They're stylistic.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to look good at doing what he does, But he's not going to be able to do that against Billy Joe. He's not, and he's going to cause frustration for him. And I think Canelo knows this himself.
I mean, that's 100% good point there. Because remember when Fury fought Schwartz, who's not, I don't think he's world ranked or anything. He didn't have the best of performances. When he goes up against Wilder a second time, it's one of the best performances of his entire career.
Exactly. And that's exactly the same as Billy Joe. It is exactly. And, you might look back on this interview and think, wow, Greg 100% right. And you're going to see that, That's why I said, let's do this interview, because people need to know, behind the scenes. For me, it's like, oof, but people want to know what goes on. And I'm just being honest. This is me being truthful. I'm not one of these people like, oh, you want to see shape him is amazing. Like, he gets in there and going to fight like dog shit. It's not going to happen. You know.
I mean, I can't wait. I mean, I've seen so much stuff in the last 2 hours saying, "Oh, fights off, fights off, fights off." But then again, it'll just build a lot of publicity with the fight, and the more eyes watching Saturday night. I think I'm in the UK here, so it'll be about 4:30 a.m. So we know by then. All right, Greg. I don't take too much of time, but thank you so much as always.
Fred, top man. All right.
And where can people find you on social media at?
MTK Nutritionist. I just want to say a big shout out, obviously, to MTK Global. I'm doing a live takeover today, obviously. So keep posted. There should be some fun things on there. But yeah, MTK Nutritionist.
All right, Greg. Thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, Fred. Take care, son.